Something different, because it doesn't even make sense for it to be people to be that difficult for us to just do this one little hour thing. You got off the wrong exit. My leasing office manager is actually Satan's daughter.
She must really love her job, or not.
I think she just,
or she's trying to be fired.
I think she's just, she has to be trying to get fired. Like, she thinks that I'm going to be the one to help her get fired so she can get unemployment, because there's no way you can be that terrible of a human being. There's actually no way.
Yeah.
But we're back this week.
We are back. And it's beautiful out.
It is so nice out. I love how we didn't plan this, our little Gymshark coordination, but here we are.
Gymsharkin. Sponsors.
Yeah, let's send us some stuff. Look at us. We deserve it.
Right?
So this is episode 5.
Oh my God.
We're halfway there. Halfway there. Yeah, we're almost there. We're capping out at 10 episodes for this season. So I think that finishes right before Christmas. And
are you going home?
I'm going home after Christmas.
Okay.
I'm not going. I told you, I'm not going to the.
I know.
Even my trip after, I'm still thinking damn, do I want to again go in the middle of January? It's just so cold, and I have no desire to be.
People keep asking me. I think people forget that my family moved to Florida.
Yeah, so it's easier for you to just go from one.
They're like, "Oh, you're coming home," and I'm like, "Well, actually, my home now is
not here.
Not here. It's not in New York. I obviously still have family there, but if I'm gonna go home for the holidays, it's gonna be to my parents, not to my family in New York."
Right.
So
you haven't really been to New York in a minute.
I moved in 2019 and I haven't been back
since we went to that Scream Tour concert.
That was the last time I went back.
I'm so sad. I kind of wanted to go to
the most recent one.
Yeah, that they had the Millennium Tour to see the Bow Wow, the Soulja Boy, because that's a different era too. I feel but you know what I didn't like, because I'm a real diehard B2K fan. So
I know.
I no, seriously, I am their biggest fan. There's no question about it. I just didn't because I really thought I was gonna be at the concert singing some of the old songs, but the album cuts and stuff that, and even some of Omarion's album cuts, it just felt it was it felt like verses, just all the hits were being put out, and then they would do some of them, and they would do it for 15 seconds and then go on to the next. So that's the part that I didn't kind of
because a lot of their new stuff I didn't really know. The new
stuff,
I don't really know that.
When Lloyd was performing some of his new stuff, I didn't know any of those songs. Even I know you love Mario, but I didn't know
Mario follows me on Instagram.
Does he?
And sometimes, if he posts something on his stories, and I'll send something, he'll it. I'll be like, thanks, and I'm like, oh.
Nah, that happened to me with one of my But that was a whole problem.
You didn't even finish. You're that was a problem.
Let me just, that was a problem. Even say, but I've had those moments or those DMs, and it's just remember I got invited to that pool party for 4th of July, and I was I really want to go to this, but I just can't. So enjoy when you could be in the streets, because sometimes you got to make the conscious choice.
I don't think he's single.
No, Mario's not. I think I heard he was on lip service not too long ago. He was saying that he has a somebody.
Yeah, because you could tell how somebody responds. He responds very respectfully. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Same with dude. It was kind of but it's I know if you weren't and I wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the things that he likes or comments on is what I'm speaking up about these current times.
Okay.
Because he's on the same page. He'll post things here and there as well. Mm-hmm. And we'll comment on each other based off of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay, cool, you're here.
You're here. No, it's just me skating and twerking. Those are the videos that are liked. Tells you where your mind is, but whatever.
It is what it is.
But let's get into our 2 cent topics of the week.
You want to go first? I went first last time, I think.
Did you?
Maybe. Did I?
No, because I think I had like the brain fart. No, you did go
no,
first.
No, I did go first,
because
yeah.
you knew what you were talking about, and I kind of
didn't. Full transparency here.
Full.
Actually, the whole episode last week, we didn't know what the hell.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same. I think it goes better when we kind of just talk. Because
these are like our actual conversations.
Yeah, this is just us talking. That's why I kind of didn't want to talk about the Bobby Brown thing in too much. I got a story time for you guys. It is so crazy. But my 2 cent topic for the week is going to be about the whole... I have no issues with Chloe Bailey. None whatsoever. I love you promoting. Look at us. We're sitting here half naked.
I love that. I love that.
On camera right now. So I love that part. But I just feel... Well, let me go back. She put up a video this week of her thanking her fans, but while she was thanking her fans, she just had to get some little blow pop action on.
And even the way she was laying down,
no,
like she was like,
she was laying down, and even the timing she took, it was like, we're recording, okay, you know, like okay, I get it.
I'm gonna suck the lollipop.
Yeah,
now.
like send this to Gunna. Like we don't need to see this. It was just
no, I don't like them together.
Listen,
if they are together.
I
mean, do you?
They probably, you know what? Can I tell you, when I saw them at the basketball game together, all I was thinking was, like, they probably share, like, dreadlock, like, products and, like, ways to keep their locks clean. And
I don't, honestly, like,
I feel like that's how he got her, was asking her, like, a dreadlock question.
Right, what's your regimen?
yeah, like, what, do you use apple cider vinegar? Like,
oh, you smell good. I want mine to smell good, too.
Yeah, what that smell like? Why they smell like that?
I don't know. I don't, like, because I've tuned into her lives before, like, and she expresses like how, like, what she looks for in a man, and she's like, yeah, like nerdy guys and like guys that are gonna challenge me. He's not that at all. At all. So no. I'm like, maybe they actually
Rihanna
are
dressing up as him.
Oh, that was funny.
I only can see Gunna as Rihanna. Sorry for the barking. And if you see visuals, you're gonna be like, why are you guys in a completely different place? That's a whole nother story.
But it's cute though.
Yeah,
I feel cute here.
It's great. Y'all just gonna have to take the sound effects that come with us being outside, because we live in California. It is the middle of November and it's still.
Yo, it's 90 degrees.
This week, like these past couple of days,
hot.
It's been blazing.
What was today's Sunday? Friday
was 95 degrees.
But why did I think that it was gonna be like 70? And I was wearing a hoodie and I was melting.
Yo, no, it was one day I was doing Instacart and I was just like, yo, like, it's November and it is still a zillion degrees out here.
Yeah.
And even yesterday, like, me and the girls went for a walk and Kalani was like, no. We gotta go inside. Like, I even tried to do water guns with her and she's just like,
but you know what bothers me is that it's November, it's this hot and it gets dark fast.
I know, that's the
second
part.
Like the sun goes down at like there's like she's here at a good time.
Yeah.
Because it's like noon.
Give it about 4 more hours and it's a wrap. Yeah.
Whereas before you could stay out there till like 7, 7:30.
Here's funny. One of the first times we came to California, we went hiking by the conservatory. Mm-hmm. And we're thinking, because we're in California, like, it's not gonna get dark as fast, like, because it's still hot outside. Like,
you're associating the heat with
daylight.
Wait, but it's hot outside. Why is it getting dark?
Dude, we were in the mountains, and it got pitch black.
Oh my god!
We started hearing all
I saw a coyote.
One time it was raining. I saw a coyote walking up the road, because there's a wildlife conservatory right by my house, like down the street from here. Okay. But no, thank God the iPhones like put in like the flashlights, because we would have been fucked. But
damn,
back
that's
to Chloe.
Scary. That's scary.
Chloe did that video, and I just felt like it was a lot. Like, and even I guess other people and her team may have felt it was a lot, because she took it down. And there's nothing wrong with you, like, embracing your sexuality, leaning into your femininity. Mm-hmm. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I just feel like it's coming in hot.
Yeah, I feel like she knows what she is and she knows what she stands for. She could have kept it at that.
Right.
You know? But then, like, I feel like she gained, like, that extra confidence and is like taking it now, where people are like, okay, now she's doing too much.
It's overboard.
Because her performances are beautiful.
Right.
But people are already saying like she's doing the most.
Right.
But now it's like,
okay, now you do this. And
but she prides herself. She's like, one thing I'm gonna do is the most.
Right.
But now it's like the most.
Yeah, no, it's like it's over the top at this point. But what I love about what that represents is that even in that, right, everybody goes back and forth with like the whole Little Nas X and how he carries himself, and just like, oh well, yeah, I don't have an issue when it's so and so. People obviously do. Like, she's a heterosexual female who is online doing the most in a sexual manner, and people have an issue with it. So I don't really think. I think that kind of takes away from the narrative of it being like, oh, it is only because he's gay or only because of that. I think it's just a lot, especially when a lot of these people were or have like teeny bopper fans. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when you have that child like crowd also, like you're not solely like not only adults are listening to your music, like there's people who there's kids listening to it. So people tend to have an issue with the younger, like those kids that are trying to break out of like being looked at as a kid. Like even Lotto, like she had a hard time doing it. Like there's just certain things that you just don't want to see from a super young.
Right, because some people like will grow with you.
Right.
And some people are like just gonna stay like no.
In that like little like child.
You're
box.
still 10 to me forever.
She's still daddy little girls asking for. I'm sorry, Mama. It was just so good. I didn't mean to eat it all. So,
I don't know. I mean, I saw the video, but I didn't have the audio on, and I already thought like, what is going on here? But like, I'm like, oh, it's Chloe.
Yeah,
it's Chloe. Like I wasn't surprised, but I was like, yo, okay, now she.
But then I think about this though, right? Like being that her sister is so much associated with like Disney and stuff like that. Like, is that going to make it hard for them to even ever be able to perform again? Because now, like, if your sister is this hypersexualized image and you're the Little Mermaid, like, I don't
know. I feel like once they created their separate accounts, I already felt like they were going their solo.
Separate ways,
I mean, I think they're still gonna make music together,
right?
But I think there's
two separate
more.
And speaking of two separate, like you've seen. I don't know if you really tune in with City Girls, but they've even been doing a lot of things separately. Like JT did the feature on Summer Walker's. Carisha did that whole Buenas Noches, that rap freak song, and then she did the Scrub the Ground song with Quavo, and that's all pretty recent. So I don't know, like it's just kind of weird.
But then if you think about Migos too, they do their own separate
I think everybody's just trying to find their individual voice, so that way you're not solely leaning on the group aspect.
Right.
I dig that. Yeah, for sure. That might really be the way to go about it now. Because speaking of groups, wait, I won't get into groups in a second with my story. But what's your 2 cents for the week?
My 2 cents for the week is Kid Cudi's. What was he went to some fashion like CD, whatever that is, the fashion whatever, and he wore a wedding gown. It seemed like he had a veil and his hair was like pink and his eyes. He looked like a dead bride.
Yeah, it looked
like he looked like a dead bride. This isn't a surprise. I wasn't surprised that I saw Kid Cudi wearing a dress the way he presented himself. It didn't bother me. I was confused that he was holding the designer's hand while on the red carpet.
And who was the designer?
I have no idea who the designer was. I really couldn't tell you.
Was it a man?
It was a man. Yes, it was a man. I should have specified.
Okay.
It was a male designer, Caucasian male designer, and they were holding hands on the red carpet. Now I get you're coming out with the designer, like you want to represent his work and whatever, but I was confused as to why he was holding his hand, and like I didn't really see any explanation. I mean, he doesn't really explain himself to begin with. But
do you think, like I said before, do you think that a lot of people are just doing things for the reaction?
Maybe, like
or
just
coming out. We think that's. Like,
but that's the thing. There was nothing. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed where he said he. I feel like that would have been a big thing, though. You would have known if he came out. But I don't know. I'm a very do you kind of person. Like I said, it didn't shock me. it's like, okay, he wants to wear a dress, then wear a dress.
Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
care.
It's
Like, I don't
different.
care.
Certain celebrities, they do what they do.
Yeah. So and he's one of them. But what caught me off guard was him holding the designer's hand, and I'm like, why is he doing that? Is he, or like, what is he trying to say here? What statement is he trying to make?
I honestly think that a lot of people just do anything for the reaction, and
because clearly it went right on shade room, like instantly.
Right.
Like,
No,
oh,
he
look
looked
at
crazy.
Kid like
He
he
looked
did
crazy.
look crazy.
He
Like
looked
he
crazy.
looked like, because I know that he's been battling with like depression, like being addicted to different things or whatever. So that doesn't look like somebody who's recovered to me. It looks like somebody who's still kind of figuring himself out, or maybe he is recovered and this is the person he's always wanted to be. I don't know, but I'm confused. And I want answers as to why he was holding his hand.
I'm not the biggest Kid Cudi fan, honestly. I do accredit him to like certain things, like he had a major influence in a lot of sound that we listen to today.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially like Kanye's 808 and Heartbreaks. I even say sometimes even how like Kendrick Lamar sound. Just a little thing, like he has played a huge impact in how music sounds today.
Yeah.
But I just always see him. I watched his Red Table Talk with, and I thought he was like in a really good space.
I thought so too.
Him, the Frank Oceans, and like those kind of artists, it's just like they always just pop up out of like from the dead and just like come out and you're like, what the hell is going on?
Like that.
Like, yeah, he literally looked like he popped up from the dead. At first, I thought it was a Halloween costume, but then I was just like,
that's what it looked like.
Yeah. I thought it was a late posted Halloween costume, honestly.
No, it was not. That's how he I think it was a fashion award, like, event sort of thing. And so he came with the designer, and they were holding hands.
Maybe he was so in love with the designer that he felt the need to hold his hand throughout the...
Maybe he was a new designer, and he felt like he needed to, guide him through his first events. Like, I got you, walk him down the aisle. Yeah, because I think the designer was wearing a black suit. Okay. And then he was wearing the wedding dress. So from the outside in, I mean, think what you want. I mean, he's going to do what he's going to do regardless. I was just kind of confused. And maybe I need answers. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'll just accept it for what it is.
You just got to accept it that he was the bride and he wasn't a beautiful bride. I could tell you that.
No, him in dresses is not. Like,
the makeup was terrible.
I think he did it himself. He had to. Because it was like... It was like dead around the eyes, like zombie eyes.
His face was all greasy.
His face was greasy. He looked like really like a runaway bride, like disheveled.
The bride of chocolate would be highly offended.
Yeah. It was very much that.
But speaking of another trailblazer for like when it comes to like today's sound, I watched this Soulja Boy interview. Mm-hmm. And I think Soulja Boy should honestly run for president at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, we just need Soulja Boy for president because, like, he makes a lot of sense. And I think people don't really give Soulja Boy the credit that he deserves when it comes to, like, remember how he was, like, the first one to make $1 million off the ringtones. Mm-hmm. He was the first rapper really on YouTube. And I do remember, like, back when LimeWire was a thing, that you would go and, like, try to like click on a song and download a song, and it could be some random song, and it would be actually Soulja Boy's Crank That. He would put like name that song under a different song, and it would be him.
He's kind of
genius. Yeah, he's literally a genius. You know what I mean? And he has so many like business ventures, like Atari and all these other things that you're just looking at. Like he really stayed relevant throughout our entire like life. Like Soulja Boy, what was that, like high school for us?
For sure, because I remember I was cranking that in my senior year.
Mm-hmm. No, that video you sent me with that boy, oh my god, he had me dying when he was like, you tic-tac, like when he was doing the, I was like, oh my god,
you tic-takers,
tic-takies. He was really going
tic-tortillas.
No, they really do. Like honestly, I think the dance, like y'all TikTokers, those dances really suck ass. Like
they really do.
They're not good.
Like he was hitting it hard. Like it was so funny every time. It's like he would throw his hat.
When he was doing that, he's like, what is this? He's like, you're always doing something. It really is though. Like I could never get into just doing straight TikTok because Those dancers really do look like you're just having some epileptic seizure. Like,
For real.
Like it just doesn't.
For real. And they all
look
like
anything.
it's the same dance and with like different variations.
Yes.
But it's the same.
It's like the same. About like four steps.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like really to be
like
like
combining them in different orders.
To be like successful at like TikTok, all you gotta do is like learn or like two little steps.
Do that. You gotta do all of that, and then you gotta be able to do this. And that slow walk thing that they do, and you're good. You're good.
But you have to be like decent looking.
Yeah.
Because I feel like all these people
be able to Photoshop enough
exactly
to
be because I always see like guys. Like,
okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I do not like the videos of the men with their shirt. It was like 3 dudes.
Oh, 5, 8 of them.
And they're all like doing TikTok together. I think that those videos are so sad.
I think that like they live together and they just
that's even more sucks.
They just like collaborate.
But they have like influencer houses out here, like where a bunch of influencers all live in one house and they create and all that stuff like that. Yeah,
I think that's the same thing.
That is the weirdest
with the guys.
thing to me. I'm sorry,
but there's also lesbian TikTok where it's the same like butchy like lesbians doing the same exact dances that those guys are doing.
Oh, like the studs.
Yes, but it's like lesbians and they're all like collab in the same way.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I mean, I hate it, but it's also like smart because
it's smart.
Like each page, because I'd be stalking them. Mm-hmm. Each page, it's the same group of guys or the same group of girls, whoever, but it's a different song.
Right.
So like they're each all together, but they're doing a different song, so they gain from each other.
I did peep that. Yeah.
They gain followers from each other. So like that's their like collaboration. Is huge.
I'm looking at this camera. Sorry guys, I gained 5 pounds this week, and I'm really proud of myself. So.
It's the only person who gains 5 pounds and is proud.
Yeah, no, but because at first like. That losing your belly after the C-section is way different than when I naturally gave birth.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
It's harder, right?
It's so much harder, and so like I literally had to go down, and then like doing Instacart, being outside skating, and it's a zillion degrees all the time. Like I naturally just lose a lot more weight in the summer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've been eating like a grown ass man, like so.
I'm like, oh, like you were saying, oh, I want to gain 5 pounds. Like I think I gained like a solid maybe 10 to 12 pounds since I've been out here.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not upset about it. Like I'm proud of it. But
I've lost 10.
Really?
I've lost that much.
But I've also haven't been working out the way that I used to because of my back. So I think that the reason why I gained, 10 to 12 pounds is not crazy, but it's still like I could see it. I could see it. I'm like, ooh, these pants fit me a few months ago.
But your weight goes in different places, so just.
Yeah, but I don't like to be that. I don't like to be that person that like, oh, my clothes don't fit me. I gotta get Like I'm like, no, I'm gonna fit that. Yeah. I don't want to be that. So
no, see, like me picking up skating out here, that took a lot of weight off of me. But I was happy about it because my stomach, like, I wanted to lose my gut, and people think that you can like spot train, and you can't. You just have to like honestly lose the weight. So that worked out.
You guys, look how pretty she looks today.
Oh, thank you.
You should see how flustered she was this morning, and I just looked over and I'm like, you look really pretty today. She's like almost in tears, like, thank you.
Because I really wanted to like know, like, we normally record in our room in the room in my clubhouse, and the lady's just like being a whole like this lady downstairs. Like, she's gonna get fired soon. Don't worry. I'm not even gonna. Only thing I'm gonna speak into existence is her not like working here.
She was like she's
difficult. She's difficult. Like we want to have the visuals. She puts on music to be an asshole, but you don't understand. Like people, if you think that meme where it's just like, oh, you thought you were a bitch, sweetie, you didn't meet me. Like I'm consciously choosing to be nice. Like, but I can consciously choose to be an asshole. And now you put everybody at the pool at an inconvenience because now we're out here doing.
Now they have to listen to our gossip,
right? And when you could have just turned the music down in there.
Nobody goes in there.
No one goes in there. She's such an asshole.
I think she's trying to get fired.
She's trying to get fired, but don't
you
worry.
got her name right?
Yeah, Esther. Who the hell names their children Esther?
She needs to be fired.
I would be mad if my name was Esther too. Like the fuck.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to turn music off. I would want to make everyone else live in hell if my name
I
was
would want to
Esther.
be hell. I would want to call hell if my name was Esther.
I would change my name on my birth certificate.
Legally, I would do it. Like,
that's crazy. You know, my sister. This is totally not really off topic, but my sister. Me and my sister don't have middle names.
I know most Puerto Ricans don't.
Yeah, we don't have middle names, and she didn't want to get rid of our last name.
So she made Benitez
her middle name. Yeah, legally.
Because you could put it right on the paper, whatever you want to. I was thinking about putting some crazy shit on when I was filling that paper out. Like,
so she made her middle name Benitez. I don't blame her. Sorry, G. I don't blame her. She knows her new last name isn't the greatest.
What is it?
Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah,
it's like Esther.
Yeah, it's right up there with Esther.
But she knows that. She knows that. She's very well aware of what she got herself into. But I was considering that
because I don't like that. Like my last name, no last name is an S because now it's like bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Like BS. But then I think of me, I flip it because I'm a tourist. I'm like, yeah, I'm always on that bullshit. She messed with the bulls to get the horns. She got the fucking horns this morning. She definitely got the horns.
What a freaking morning! But we're here, man.
Whatever. It's a beautiful day in California. I can't even complain. But what else are we talking about today? I watched that Maid series on Netflix.
How do you feel about it? As a mom, because I have a different perspective, maybe. Not really, but as a mom, because that was a lot. To me, it was a lot.
As a mom, see, the thing is, there's so much that she did wrong.
Yeah.
That I was just like, yo, you should have stayed with that. Spoiler: we're talking about Maid, the series on Netflix. But
wait, let's give a little background. It's about a single mom.
Who's
dealt with emotional abuse,
spiritual abuse, mental abuse,
and the whole show
her
is
baby father, and he's an alcoholic, and it's basically her just trying to get her and her daughter away from that situation.
Right.
One thing I can say is this: I feel like this kind of story setup is a repetitive outline for white trauma. I feel like it's always just like the dad was an alcoholic, the mother's batshit crazy. It's just always that rhetoric.
Yeah.
I feel like that's always their kind of hiccup when it comes to their situations. I just felt that she really was giving the wrong people too many chances.
Her mom. Jesus Christ, her mom pissed me off. Yeah. Oh my God. If I had a mom like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But people don't even speak on it. That's an episode we can get into that about toxic moms, because that is a thing too. Sometimes a toxic mother is worse than having an absent father, in my opinion. But I felt even Sean, when she went back to there and you left dude, when she had that good situation with the guy that was really trying to help her. He was so cute. He was so nice. He had a little trail, the hair trail going down. But he was so good with your daughter. Your daughter has someone to be there to play with and all that things like that.
He did not care about her situation.
No, he did not care.
I don't care.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of, that may go into the question of before, is that sometimes some people want love from a specific place. You know what I mean? So she just, as much as her situation was detrimental, it was comfortability in it. So I feel like that's why she went back to Sean, and he pulled the wool over her eyes with saying that he was sober, all that stuff like that. So as a mom, though, I just felt like she wasn't truly putting her daughter's best interest at heart when she was making certain decisions. Even as soon as you saw the poll, there's no way that you can stay here. If your father and his wife are asking you, they got a beautiful home where your kid could be, sometimes you need to put that pride aside, because at the end of the day, you see what your mom was, and not to justify the dad, but like he said, there are some people that are like that. I wasn't a great parent, but I can be a great grandparent right now. I'm in a different space in my life. I know where I was, but I'm not there anymore. You know, so I think she just wasn't putting genuinely. I think some people lead with pride
Oh, for
And
sure. She was for
leading
sure.
with pride.
Like, I
She
could do
was
this by
leading,
myself.
instead of actually leading with the better interest. There's no reason why your daughter's sleeping in black mold because of your pride. There's something's got to give.
Yeah, like you said, she was just giving the wrong people too many chances because she could have had that guy. She could have stayed with her dad, but she chose to be with her mom, who's batshit freaking crazy, and her ex-boyfriend or husband, whatever it was at the time. But I did appreciate, like, even though she was giving the wrong people chances, like, her hustle. Like, she really was trying to, like, have all the government support. Like, she was going hard getting all the government support. Like, I get where she was coming from to give her daughter, like, the better life, but
and I think
she didn't have to struggle that much.
I think that was good to show that it's not only minorities on welfare and using government assistance and things like that. Like, this is not just like people that look like me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's showing that there's people of all races that are using government assistance and need to be on it in some way, shape, or form. But I also did like how it showed how much government assistance that there is out there for struggling.
Literally had no idea. I didn't even know that.
A third of it. All I know is really welfare and food stamps, honestly.
Yeah. I didn't even know that there was like a house that you can go whenever if you are being abused in any way, shape, or form. I didn't like how she was like, "Oh, I don't want to stay in this house because I'm not abused. Like, he didn't abuse me. I don't have a black eye. She has a black eye." Without realizing
that there's so much pride in her actions that it doesn't logically make sense.
Yeah, like, she's like, "I'm not abused. Like, why am I gonna take somebody else's home if I wasn't punched in the face?" And then her friend, that one that went back to her abusive relationship, where she was like, "Yeah, this time he punched the wall, but next time."
But that's how it starts.
Yeah,
and being somebody who wasn't actually an abusive relationship, that's how it starts. They'll start throwing things around you. But abuse comes in so many shapes and forms. Like, it really does. Like, I literally had you tell me, like, you will never in your life find anybody that will put up with you. Like,
abuse.
That to think that's abuse.
Yeah,
that's abuse.
But and they don't
like
even
basically saying like, well, you're lucky that I'm here, but it just deal with me because nobody else will ever love you like I will.
Right. Like, and it goes both ways too, because women do that a lot to them. Like, you ain't shit. You're never gonna. That's mental. That's abuse. Your mama ain't even want you. This person didn't even want you. That's abuse. You gotta go. You gotta go.
It is verbal abuse. Listen. What someone says to you, in my experience, can hurt you way more than you put your hands on it.
Absolutely.
It can break you way more.
It breaks you,
your
like,
soul down.
Confidence, like, you start to believe that what that person is saying is actually true. Like, oh, really? Okay, yeah, then I'm never gonna be shit then, because the person that I love, if he doesn't see it in me, then who else is gonna see it in me?
Right. If you love me, if you say that you love me, you think that I ain't shit, then the world must think I ain't.
Exactly. What is love then?
Oh my God! Like, I want to say at first it was a little bit hard to get into. Like, I had to, like, I hate when I have to keep rewatching the episodes because I keep falling asleep on it. It's not grasping me. But towards the end, it got really good. I liked how she redeemed herself. I love how I forgot that woman's name, but she actually plays the voice of Princess in the Frog, of Tiana from Princess and the Frog.
The rich lady?
Yeah, Regina. She was amazing. I loved how she was really helping her. I love how she was really just, like, even just stuck the card in, like, for her to, like, contact her and just like just different things. Like, she was really there for her. And then when she said, "Well, maybe I'm not a cunt," you know what I mean? Also, there's so much in that, just like in that dynamic that, like, look at of everybody who helped you was a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was really out there.
And the way, because usually in other movies and TV shows, it's flipped. It's somebody of color, a maid, and then the person in the house is a Caucasian woman or male or whatever, and the roles were switched. I adored it. I like that.
I liked it. It showed a very different dynamic that needed to say, hey, this isn't just this person's thing or this ethnicity thing. Like, it's everybody. It's all over.
Right.
You know. So,
and these issues exist no matter what color you where you come from. It exists.
Sure does. You know? And even when I looked up, like, I loved how they put in, like, little things that, like, even though it was happened. It was like in her subconscious, like,
Mhm.
okay, like, nobody cares, you're not gonna win, when they like was putting
Yeah.
over the paper
Yeah,
and
she was
stuff like
kind of
that.
like
She's like white
drifting.
trash, da, 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 da. And then she was like, and they were showing like how she was going broke in a matter of seconds. Like,
Yes, I
and
could relate to that so much. I'm like,
yo, like I
damn,
just
like I mean, I gotta work this much because
right.
gas in LA.
You know that's
And
my biggest
I
pet peeve.
was watching that show as everything was happening to me last month.
Oh,
Where
my
was my
gosh.
flat tire?
Right.
I got tickets,
Right.
my windshield, and it was
Right.
literally like, ching, 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 and I'm like,
This is
yo,
my life
like
right now.
I don't have kids, but imagine if I
You
did.
did. Shoot, I got 3 of them. Like I'm telling you.
Imagine if I did. Like, I'd be her. Like,
Yeah,
I would
sister.
literally be like, yo, how am I gonna
It
feed
would
my
never
child?
be me because I would definitely be on a pole somewhere. That's a fact. You just gonna have one stripping ass mama. I'm not doing.
I mean, I respect it.
I'm
You gotta
telling
do what you
right
gotta
now,
do.
I will be the first
I
thing on
respect it.
pole. First thing
You know,
on pole.
I actually
That's
have
always-
appreciation for them.
That's always gonna be in my backup plan. Like if worst comes to worst, you
I'll
will find
come.
me on the pole.
I'll come watch you.
Dead serious.
I went to
Shaking my little clappers.
I went to a strip club in Atlanta, and one of the girls who was dancing for us had a friend who was also a stripper, but she wasn't dancing.
Wow.
She was just picking up her friend's money. She's like, "No, I'm here to hype her up."
Yeah.
I could be
Yeah,
that.
thank you. That's all I need.
Like, yo, here's my friend. Like, you about to dance? Okay, like I'm gonna move your feet.
Yeah,
I need the money.
that's
I
like
need
cash.
the money.
You watching my bills from the thing.
And like just
Take
hype you up
10%.
from a distance. That's literally what she was doing.
Yeah, no, that will always be my backup plan. I would never I will go straight to the pool. That's a fact.
I love them.
I love strippers.
I
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
like, I was just there. I'm like, yo, they're really walking out here like do boobs out, coochie lips out, like just walking like, hey, you good? You need something? Like, no, girl, I'm good. But I love the confidence.
Just to watch you. I just want to watch you and embrace it.
Embrace it. Like, there's like a power in just a woman just walking around in like her true self.
Right.
Like, full
but
on.
I feel like even this, like, I'm literally wearing this for the rest of the day. Like, it doesn't even. I feel like even being out here, you just feel like
I'm like, I had a friend who was like, oh, I need to. She wanted to shoot earrings that she makes, and she was like, you got a shirt? And I'm like, what do you mean? Do I have a shirt? She's like, I've never seen you wear an actual shirt. I'm like, yes, I own shirts. And she's like, I always see you like this because this is how I'm dressed most of the time. I'm like, yes, I have shirts. I ended up not wearing a shirt. I ended up wearing a sports bra again because it just went with the theme. But I just thought it was funny. Like out here, like, I don't really dress like that.
It's so
like,
funny.
It's like
I was talking to one of my friends and they were just like, I was like, it gets cold out there. They were like, yo, what are you wearing right now? I was like, shorts and a sports bra. Sorry, it's not cold right now, but it does get cold.
Yeah, maybe like 5 o'clock it'll start. But even so, it's like it has.
So hot.
It's been like the nights have been so cute. Like it's like the perfect.
And even yesterday morning, I woke up and it was 75 degrees.
Oh,
but,
perfect.
Yeah, but that main show, I give it a 7 out of 10.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's gonna be another season though. I feel like
that was kind of like where can it expand from there? Like basically showing how she, you can't really expand from there. I think that's kind of really it.
Yeah.
But I did notice that there were a lot of shows that I watched during quarantine that I have zero interest in watching their season two. Like I watched Outer Banks on Netflix. I have no interest in watching their season 2. Lock and Key I watched on Netflix. I have no interest in watching their season 2. That dating that show where The Circle, I have no interest in watching.
I applied for The Circle.
Did you?
Yeah, but I didn't finish the application.
Yeah, The Circle, I had no interest.
I've never watched it though. My sister was like, "Oh, you should do it. I think you'd be good." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Never watched it a day in my life.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things on Netflix. I just have no interest in watching the second season of them at all. But
well, speaking of shows, since we talk about Insecure every week, did you watch them? Did you watch it?
Yes. We didn't. We're not up to date because we're recording on tonight's episode.
Right. So it's a preview.
We're talking about the episode with Lawrence and Condola. That episode was done very well.
Yes, I can see that.
I think it gave a great aspect. Even him just being away, like even dads that are just at work. Like I think Kashif doesn't even get the third of the things that like I just do.
When
you're not here. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much as a mom that you take on. Like, not to say that there's not dads that take on a lot, but when you have a mom who is the main, like, because we're married, so he's there with me. but he works majority. He is the main provider financially, so he works more than I do. So when it comes to being at home with the twins and being at home with the girls, like there's so much more of a different responsibility. Like I'm doing 3 heads of hair every single day.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting 3 girls ready. There's a fun. The twins are complete opposites. There's 2 babies I'm getting ready at the same time. You know what I mean? Like you got to be a chef. You got to. Someone doesn't eat this, and not everybody eats that. Like if you're working a diner, you're a therapist, you're a teacher, you're a gymnast, you're a gym teacher. You get what I'm saying? Like you're so many things in one, and then here just comes that like, hey, like I just felt like it was super inconsiderate. I think it was very immature how he was like looking at the situation, and but also on her end, I didn't think that she did a terrible job, like communicating her needs and what she expected from him as a father.
Right. I think so too. I appreciated that he actually wanted to try to be in his life, but he went about it like completely wrong, as if he understood. Like a mom is a mom. Like you know your child, you know their energy, you know everything. So I understood
we've been bonding for 9 months before this person was even outside my body.
I understood why she just didn't want to, like, regardless if you're the father or not, like,
you're still
still
a stranger in this moment.
Yeah, and he was like, I got mad when he started getting aggressive, like out of frustration. I get it, out of frustration, but like babies do feel energy, and it's just not helping the situation by being aggressive. It's not gonna make me give you my child.
She's feeling the energy because the baby's feeling her energy of worry. You get what I'm saying? So it's both of them, honestly.
Yeah,
like
of course, it's
both. Both are putting out terrible energy on this child, and nothing sure, nothing concrete. He doesn't feel safe in this moment at all. So that episode was definitely a lot. I definitely felt like Issa made the right choice to just like.
I think so too. I was like, where is Issa? But I think that they were isolating. I think there might be isolated characters. And I was confused.
Because they've done that before when they just
they have
just him or just a Molly episode or something like that.
So so it was the first episode where it showed Issa ending it with Lawrence. Episode 2 had nothing to do with that at all. And then episode 3 picked up on episode 1. I was so confused. I'm like, yo, episode 2, I was like, what
I didn't
going
like it.
on here?
I was gonna say I didn't like episode 2. I was just really like,
what happened to the whole relationship? And I was highly confused. But then I did like how they brought it back, because I was like, I don't know how.
I was not a fan when episode 2 came on at all.
Yeah.
And today's Sunday, so BMF also comes on. I'm excited, but there was a lot of drama about that episode because it wasn't supposed to come out last week, and Stars put it out for like 3 hours without.
So this is like a series that is not like the whole thing is not out. It's like Insecure. It comes out weekly.
It comes out weekly.
Okay.
So 50 was so mad because they basically wanted that. So some people saw the episode already, and some people didn't. You know what I mean?
So they took it down.
They took it down. It wasn't supposed to air. It aired from like 12 to 3. And some people saw it. You know what I mean? So he was heated about that. He's saying that he's no longer working with Stars, and I can kind of understand. But you know how he is. He's a hothead. That's Cancer men for you. They just are super emotional. Cancer men are honestly the most emotional. Like they really are. It's kind of embarrassing to watch. It makes me uncomfortable. And they say like I'm supposed to be compatible with Cancer. And I could never see me with a Cancer man a day in my life.
They're very emotional.
Maybe
very expressive.
You know what part I might like, because this is like I just like how like up their maybe like how up your ass.
For sure.
A little bit though, because then after a while that stuff gets annoying. Like when it's just like too.
They're very much about you.
Yeah.
Very much about a lot, not a lot of it.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
A whole lot of. It's a whole lot of you up in this world.
Yeah. Cancer man. Well.
What else is there to talk about?
There was something else.
Oh, my Bobby Brown story.
Oh yeah. Story time. She's gonna tell you a story.
Okay.
She's gonna tell you a story.
So remember last week when we were talking about, I was like, yo, imagine if Instagram was out when Bobby Brown was out, blah, 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 blah. So after we done recording, you know, you normally go do your DoorDash. I normally go do my Instacart thing. Um, I went to do Instacart and it was I had to deliver at a studio, Winoma Studios or whatever, and that's like basically where they like shoot or
Okay.
like for
Oh, yeah,
shows and stuff like that. So I had to deliver there, and the way that the parking lot was set up, it was way too small. And I had my big ass car. You know, my other little car is still down. We're fixing it this week, but uh so I'm like, plus the sun's in my face. I'm like, I can't see. So this man starts like directing me, and I finally turn the corner. I don't even pay him any mind, and I'm just like, this other man's like doing this, like turning his head, and I'm like, wait, I know you fucking lying. And he just starts laughing at me. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I know you're fucking lying. I was like, you're Bobby Brown. And he's like, I am. I was like, no. I said, you're Bobby Brown. And then he was like, I am. I was like, I literally was just talking about you on my podcast, like hours ago, like not even like just mentioned you. And then I was like, can I call my mom? And I was like, I gotta call my mom. So he's like, yeah, call her. So I was like, what are y'all doing today? I was like, y'all doing anything fun? You know, and he was like, we're just rehearsing. But here is like where I'm like super rude and I feel bad now is that like some of the other members from New Edition were there, and I completely didn't even acknowledge any of them.
Oh,
like,
but do you know what they were filming for?
No.
Oh, okay.
But Mike wasn't there. I think if Michael Bivens was there, I was probably been more excited. But I saw Ronnie DeVoe, Ricky, and they were the ones that actually helped me with my car. So thank you. I'm so sorry that I was mostly excited to see Bobby Brown, but it's Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
That is him.
That's him.
It was that Bobby Brown. And so I called my mom, and I'm like, Mom. And she's like, what happened? I was like, I got somebody on the phone for you. And then she was like, who? And he goes, Bobby. And then she was like, who is? She was like, Bobby who? And he was like, Brown. And then he was like, she's like, Brittany, stop playing on my phone. Like, you know me. My mother doesn't take anything I do serious. She thinks I play all day. So I was like, Ma, no, seriously, it's Bobby Brown. And then she's like, my Bobby Brown? My Bobby Brown? Like, I'm like, in my head, like, how are you telling this man that he's yours, like he's your Bobby Brown? So she starts screaming, "Oh my God, I love you, Bobby!" Going crazy. Then asking him for some of his barbecue sauce and all that stuff like that. I'm like, because he's supposed to just have sauce in his pocket right now. But she lost her mind. She was so happy. So I definitely got some daughter points with that one. She was elated. She went on Facebook and was like, why am I doing that?
I did see that. I think you reshared it or something. Yeah, I did see that.
She was like, why am I doing that? Put me on the phone with the Bobby Brown. That's Cali life for y'all. Like, she was so happy. Told the world she was talking to her Bobby Brown.
Her Bobby Brown. Like, what else? What other Bobby Brown?
What other Bobby Brown was it? He was dying laughing. Like, he thought it was so hysterical. I was like, thank you. You made my life easier. She'll leave me alone for a couple of days. Like, she won't be stressing me. She liked me this week, so. That was but I just thought it was so weird that I just mentioned him, and then I see him hours later. Like,
that's crazy.
It was so crazy. Like, it was so crazy, so cool. He's a freaking legend. And New Edition themselves, they're legends within their own right too. But that's Bobby Brown, Whitneys.
Your mom's
Bobby Brown. No. Whitney's Bobby Brown. Like, it was him. It was really him.
In the flesh.
That was dope.
That is kind of life though.
It honestly everywhere.
But Bobby Brown,
that's legendary. Like, that's not like remember we were walking through the Grove and Lil Rel was just like right there eating lunch. Like, you're used to seeing like people like that.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Even when I met Tyson Chandler, I was like, whoa. Like, that was just like certain people you're kind of wowed about. Like, wait, hold on. Like,
I mean, I was really wowed about Rihanna. So
yeah, I would have honestly put my nose.
Did I tell that story?
You
about
did.
Rihanna?
Yeah, when
you. Okay, because I feel like my story, like, no one, I couldn't take pictures or nothing.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, like,
did it happen?
You did not see Rihanna.
I would have definitely put my nose in her neck. Like, I love you. We're sisters.
Yeah, I think she's my friend.
No, me and like I tell Kalani like that's my aunt.
That's her aunt.
Yeah,
Oh
like
my gosh, she sent me in school like, yeah, that's my
no,
aunt.
she always my kids be like yeah yeah he yeah yeah ha yeah yeah he.
Auntie Rihanna.
Yeah, they be like, so
I
live your
love
life.
her and
They
A$AP
love
Rocky.
some live their life. So
I love her
Rihanna's a
and
goat.
A$AP.
She's so unproblematic. Just love her.
Yeah, she really is.
Oh, was there anything else you wanted to touch on? What other topics? What else has happened?
I don't know. I think we pretty much.
Are we going to talk on this like question? This we can rephrase it. Do you think love is particular? Do you think that like some women are only waiting for
a specific
type of love, or a specific type of person, or a specific type? Because I've been there, like in the sense of like, not to say that Kashif wasn't my necessary type, but I used to date like extremely tall guys that either played basketball or extremely hood dudes that sold drugs. Like that was just kind of like my thing, right? So I always just kind of would wait for one of them of that type to like act right. But then I had to realize that maybe your blessing is somewhere else, or maybe what you're looking for is somewhere else, and not that. And I felt like, because she's still tall, he sells bags, not drugs.
What's in bags?
But you know, like I just think like you know, sometimes you have to look elsewhere beyond your type.
Okay, so I think that women in general, like you said, we have a specific type, and we often like oversee somebody who's right there who's actually like treating you nice. But I'm like at the point in my life where, because I came from long relationships, or like relationship after relationship, that now I'm taking the time to actually date people who are more my type. Whether that's wrong or right, I don't know. It seems right to me, because
I feel like with me and Kashif, like we're very similar, but we're very opposite in the sense of like he's like the calm to the storm, where I'm kind of like the tornado sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But my tornadoes only like when something happens, kind of thing. You know, so it's just like I felt like he wasn't. He's my. Yes, he's still tall.
He's your type in a way where it's a personality.
Right. Not really just like on the physical aspect.
And I'm with you on that, because there are guys out there who are beautiful, you know, and their personality is shit.
Right.
I'm more
or
so,
like a bag of rocks.
Honestly. Right. I more so am attracted to somebody who like you can tell that they're confident. Right. Like they don't come off as timid. That's more attractive to me.
I love that. I think that's Kashif for me. He doesn't have like nothing shakes him. Like nobody being in the room. Like I remember I was talking about like it was this like it was just somebody in my DMs, right? And he was like, I said something like, oh, you tight, you're jealous? Like he's like, why am I jealous? He wants my bitch. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's his. He don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like the type of confidence he has,
like
and
secure
himself, the security in himself that he has. And I just adore that. Like
like it's like you know what you're bringing to the table. You're confident in who you are, whether you're a good-looking person or not. It's like I look for the guy who walks into the room and they don't have to say nothing.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, his walk already, like his presence. I'm like, he might not be the best-looking guy here, but he knows. He knows who he is. He knows who he is. And that now, that's
especially being in your 30s. Like you kind of want that. Like who wants somebody?
I don't want somebody
like how much like there's still like growth that everyone is allowed and everyone's doing. But how much of like yourself should you be figuring out at this point? You get what I'm saying? Like I don't think you should be at like a stage one of knowing who you are. There should be some type of foundation, some type of like you know, starting points that are already there, some building blocks that are already there, and just going on from there. But like
I think also like for guys, if they're not on the right path, like financially, just because of this like social construct, they're just they don't feel confident within themselves because they're not where they are in life. But that doesn't necessarily
I think men need to learn how to be able to court without a financial.
Exactly. You could still be a confident. You could still be a bomb ass person, confident person
Right.
without. Nobody has it
There's so
figured
much
out.
thought. You know how much, like, look at like where we live. Like, somebody out here could just like you could get a picnic basket or get a bag, get some food, and we could just go to a park, go to a hike, or look at something like a complex like this, like you know, like Kashif, come down here, have some food set up for me, and we can just chill.
It doesn't cost that much.
Like, it doesn't really.
Flowers cost like $7 at Ralph's.
Exactly. Some flowers are $4 at Ralph's.
It doesn't
and
really
some flowers
cost that much. It's like if you really want to.
If you wanted to, you would.
Right.
He came home with flowers out there. And I'm like, okay, like, because that's something even before. Like, I don't want anybody to ever think that I try to put out a perfect marriage. It's just more like we're a real couple and we have our ups and downs. And sometimes I even have to remind him, like, in marriage, men get comfortable in thinking like there's certain things like, oh, my wife should know this, my wife should know that. Like, he thinks like, oh, well, you know that I think you're bad. You know that I think you're this. You know that I think, but it's still. Even though I know that, you want to hear it. Like, I always tell, like, SZA, she'd be like, lie to me and say my booty getting bigger, even if it ain't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just tell, you know, like.
We love to.
Like, stuff like that. Like, even men who have been in relationships don't get comfortable. And the men who are courting, like, don't lose confidence in what you're doing because of $1. Because
we appreciate that way more.
Like, I appreciate the thought behind something way more than just.
Right, and I hate that guys feel like they need to have it figured out before they go into a relationship. Like, nobody has it figured out.
No, when I met Kashif,
not one person has it figured out.
Kashif was working for me. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I was his supervisor. Like, not everybody has it figured out right away, but like, and even men that do have it figured out, sometimes people lean into the money. Like, he'll lean into just. I tell him, like, you can't just. If all this shit burns up today, what are we bringing? We still need to maintain our friendship. We still need to maintain some type of courtship and just the romance in your relationship. All the extras, like the bags and all that stuff. You know how many bags I got? I'm tired of. Some of them I'm tired of looking at. Like, in the sense of, like, the only reason why they're still here is because I have daughters and I'll give them to them. Like, I have bags. Like, I'm not impressed by a bag anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm impressed by the delivery and the thought and those little tiny things, like coming home bringing flowers, or just making sure the house. You know, I have OCD. Making sure the house is clean when I get home. I know we have 3 children, but I have OCD. Make sure the shit is clean. You know, I appreciate those little things, or going to get me like certain things to start my day, or getting me a bagel, getting me a Red Bull, coffee, tea, or something like that. You know, so. Those are little things, but I just think that when you do, there's certain things you shouldn't have to compromise on.
Yeah, I don't really know if I answered that question.
And I think
I more so just swung it in a way where I'm giving myself the space to date people and figure out what it is that I want. I'm not necessarily looking for love right now.
So you don't. So okay. So like I asked before, like you're not dating with intention. See, that's the difference. Like I think that's like when you're dating for attention, a lot of those things matter. You know what I mean? But if you're not dating for any intention, then
like I'm just having fun meeting new people because I didn't have the opportunity to do so before.
But let me ask you this: do you, with being in your 30s, do you think that? Do you think that at a point in time you will start dating for intentions, or like do you think that affects? Like, how do you think that? Do you think that at some point in time it will feel like, okay, I might be too late for this or too late for that? Or
I do think about it. I think for right now that's my mindset, where it's like I know that I'm being real with myself. I'm not in the mental space to entertain somebody to that capacity.
Right, that makes sense.
So,
and that's fair.
But that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily closing off opportunities if it comes about. But I do keep it real from the beginning. Like, I'm not in the mental space. If you choose to stay and entertain the situation, then that's on you, but you know where I stand. Right? And yeah, that could change depending on the connection. But I just let it be known, like, I'm just not there. But I also don't, because if I was closing off opportunities, then I wouldn't be meeting people. You know what I mean? So obviously there's a hopeful side of me as well. But it's not something that, like, I'm like, oh my god, I need to be loved. I need to be in a relationship.
Right.
I can't be alone. Like there's no
I
rush
think
for
that's
me
the biggest
right
thing.
now.
Some people don't know how to be alone. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people have never learned how to just be by themselves. We can continue for another 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people just really don't know how to be alone. Like after me and the ex before she came along, like I literally took a lot of time to myself, and just like I would take myself to the movies, take myself out to eat, take myself to do a whole bunch of things. Like you shouldn't have to need companionship.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I think that's where I'm at.
Right.
Like it's nice.
It's
I'm not
nice.
gonna lie. Like it's nice to have somebody there, but sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like hanging out today, so I'm staying home. Like I choose to stay home, and that's how I know that I'm not in that space to be around somebody or like date somebody like that, because I choose to be alone more than I choose to want to hang out with people or like go on a date or hang out with somebody of the opposite sex or something, you know.
Yeah, so I think that honestly makes a difference. Like if you're dating for intention, then all of those things play a factor. Who you're looking for, what you're looking for, and all that stuff like that. But even in that, you can still be. I don't know. You still can have it in your mind. I think that there's certain things, quality wise, that shouldn't be compromised. But who you're looking at physically might not necessarily be him. I can't really talk because I'm never compromising on like height. Like I never compromise on height. And it sounds crazy.
I'm more like that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
and you're taller than me.
Yeah, so I often dated guys who
were like right your height.
Right, my height. Yeah. So when I'm in heels, damn near 6'2".
Right.
So I need somebody who's at least 6'2".
Right.
Right? Or 6 feet. I'd still be a little bit taller slightly, but it wasn't as important to me as it is now. And it's not about what it looks like to other people. I know.
With the like, you cannot be under 6'1".
Yeah.
But my brothers and my dad are so tall that I'm so used to, like, I could never be with like I dated one short guy, and the only thing, like I said, he still hurt. So it was just like, okay, well, you have great money.
Great money.
But
yeah,
when he stood on top of the
I have this conversation with my sister. She's like, yeah, but like you shouldn't be concerned about like other people, and I'm just like, it's not about other people. I don't care how it looks to other people. It's about me and my comfortability and how I feel with that person and what I find attractive in that person. You know what I mean? I find height to be attractive.
Sometimes like those guys like that, like will have like when you are taller, they have that Napoleon complex. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like now because I got this bigger girl,
some
but
do,
she just now I gotta control her and show her I'm the
dominant one. I've dealt with that before where it's like, oh, like you're taller than me, and it's just like, well, you know what you sign yourself up for. Like, would you think I was gonna be on flats all the time? No, I'm not wearing kitty heels for you. No.
Oh, grandma. With the
I have a big foot. Imagine me with that little. It's
good
look.
That would look nuts.
No, absolutely that.
La Cienaga's with the.
Yeah, no, we're good. I need like, but then again, I might be closing off opportunities, but I don't know if that's like a non-negotiable now.
Well, I can't say anything because it's definitely always been a non-negotiable for me. Yeah. Always been.
I'm sorry for guys that just don't have the height, but I did see on Facebook that this guy, he was like 5'6" or like 5'8" or something like that.
He got like a knee extension.
He got the knee extension, so we're in
the times of BBLs and all this other problem. So get your knee extension. Everything's a go now, apparently. So
it is what it is.
I'm over it. I'm over today already. Like not even. It's hot, but I got things to do, and she just really. That lady downstairs really had my blood boiling. I ain't gonna lie, but this was a good episode.
I hope you guys really enjoyed it. We just like to talk.
It went back. But what I want to say though, I liked how they did show that Travis did stop and say hey, what you guys need to. My thing is like, what did y'all expect him to do? Jump off the stage and save everyone? You get what I'm saying? Like, and all these lawsuits that are coming at him, I just think it's so.
It's what, like at 100
or something? 100 lawsuits,
and like all these families, like I get it. Like who are you gonna sue?
People are gonna try to get it back. That's one thing people are gonna do. This is.
I do feel bad for the families.
I do feel bad for the families. That's not.
I don't think it's his responsibility.
No. The people who were supposed to set up the whole entire situation, production, they're held accountable.
It wasn't like there was
And
there was people
he's paying for the funeral costs for the
Right.
people who died. So
there
like,
was people who were trying to get them to stop the show. They all have earpieces.
right.
They could have, like, the cameraman, like, they all could have said, like,
His
yo,
job is solely
somebody.
to perform.
Yeah. And, like, yeah, they were saying, like, oh, yeah, he does have an earpiece and he was supposed to end the show at a certain time and blah, blah, blah. And they were scared that if they shut the show down early, that they, being that his fans are the way that they are, that they were going to act out even more and it was just going to make the situation worse. So that's why they kept the show going. So then
It
it's
was
like,
literally
who
a
do you blame
catch-22.
or
right.
do you blame
the people in charge of what you're supposed to do? But my prayers go out to everybody who got hurt in that, honestly, because that's really sad. And just honestly, even to Travis Scott, because the things that like these things do to someone's mental health, I can just only imagine the stress that he's going through right now, because that is just so whack. But I think that that's everything that I wanted to touch on today.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I got to meet Bobby Brown.
I'm happy to
Thankfully, well, it's good to know that New Edition knows I can't drive now as well.
I wonder what they're filming though. That's what I'm curious about.
I know, it was so.
Because if they were all there and they were at a
You
studio,
know who I thought I saw, and I was about to call you. I was there.
Yeah.
I thought I saw Clarence NYC, and I was just like, I gotta call my friend.
He's 5'10".
Yeah, he looks short.
And I love Queen. I would never.
Yeah, but
she's like my friend.
Do you want to go? I think she's coming down here to perform.
Too. We gotta figure out the whole.
No, but I'm telling you, not down here. We're mass. We do what we want in OC.
Oh, I thought that was my phone. Oh, there's no mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that that's everything for this week.
Okay.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm
And go chat with you guys later. I want to make this video tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.